Hey y'all, this is Keandra and this is my counseling skills video blog. So the sessions did look like what I expected a counseling session to be, and I say that because I am currently in counseling. So a lot of the things that I saw the counselors doing and the interaction that I saw between the counselor and the client kind of looks a lot like what I experienced in my own sessions. So with the videos on the homesick session, the therapist tells the client to talk to her more about being homesick, and in that video I saw that she was exhibiting the open question skills because she was leaving space for the client to respond, which would give the therapist more clarity about what the client is experiencing. The therapist also asked the client to tell her the ways that she has tried to make connections while away from home. So this therapist was also very encouraging while talking to the client. You can hear her say uh-huh and see her nodding her head while the client was talking. So that's showing that the therapist is attentive and listening to what she's saying. In the brainstorming session, the therapist does a really good job at reflecting the client's feelings. So after listening to the client explain his problem with letting his family know about his separation from God, the therapist told the client that it seemed as if he felt guilty by not letting his family know about this new path that he was on. So that was a really good skill that I saw. So in the dancing and helping session, the therapist asked some very good open-ended questions. He was able to lead the client to a very big connection to how she feels and how that comes out in dance. His questions seemed to take her step by step instead of the therapist asking one big question that might make the client a little bit more confused. He did a really good job of breaking the pieces down question by question. So I noticed that all three counselors were very attentive to the client. They were listening very well. They were nodding at the client to make sure the client understood that they were listening, that they could hear, that they heard them. They were also asking very good open-ended questions that help not only bring more clarity to the therapist, but more clarity to the client as well. They also focused on the client's problems and were very encouraging. The counselors were also non-judgmental. They didn't say anything that included their opinion. They asked questions that focused more on what the problem was with the client. So a difference that I noticed was that the counselors in the brainstorming and dancing and helping sessions focused their language on the client, whereas the counselor in the homesick session used a lot of first person. I thought that was interesting because I believe that speaking in that way can help the client better understand those feelings, because then they can repeat that same I statement to themselves. So my question is, what signals or information should we pay attention to when it comes to the client's body language during a session? Thank you all for your time.